Today I'm taking with the PAUDIN VG10 Damascus knife set. Let's take a look at our chef knife. Ooh, that has got a very neat pattern on it. I was expecting this to be a much darker pattern, but it's actually a much lighter pattern. That's actually a good thing because in order to get that black Damascus that you sometimes see in those patterns, you have to really treat it with a strong edge. Technically, that actually weakens the blade. People prefer it just because it looks nicer, but this is actually going to be a better blade. Bring you in so you can really get a look at that. I also really like the wave pattern they got on right there on the edge. Very nice looking. And we can see etched in there, this is 67 layers of Damascus steel. Very beautiful blade. And we can see they didn't stop with the blade. We also have a very nice looking handle on there, and they even have decorative studs for holding that blade to the handle. It does appear to be full Tang, meaning that the metal for the blade also goes through the handle. So that way you can put a lot of force on this and you're not going to have to worry about the handle breaking off of the blade. I also appreciate right here the curve. Most of the time these things are just kind of clamped onto the blade. This is actually all one piece of metal right here. Super well made knife. They also put their branding right there on the pommel, and the overall fit and finish of this is fantastic. Just holding the handle of this thing makes it feel like a luxurious premium item. You can even see on the curve of the handle, this can prevent it from slipping out of our hands. But the most important thing about this is of course going to be the steel that made it up. So most knives that you find in a big box store is going to be a stamped piece of metal that is then sharpened down to look like a knife. They do work, but there is a huge difference between those knives and a knife like this. Those knives are basically designed to be disposable. The blade isn't really designed to hold an edge. They're designed to be rust resistant, and that's pretty much it. Well, this one is actually made more like a traditional sword. Whenever you're making a knife, you have to decide whether you want the metal to be hard or soft. The softer the metal, the more durable it's going to be, so you can just take it and smack it. It's not going to do any damage to it. The harder the metal, the better the blade retention. So in other words, it won't dull very fast. Now the problem with it being hard is that it can break. The problem with it being soft is that it'll lose the edge. So the balance you can do is you take the core, you make that out of a soft metal, and then you wrap that in a much harder metal. So the core will make it very strong, then the outer hard metal is going to retain that blade. And the way you get that Damascus is you take many layers, you fold them many times, which even if you have heavy machinery is something that just takes a long time. It is a long process, and then you heat and crush and forge all of those metals together. That is going to be what gives you that Damascus look. So this is not any ordinary blade. This is in fact a piece of craftsmanship. One could even go so far as to call it a piece of art, which is something that I would agree with. We've got a couple of different styles of blades. They are each made basically the same. They have that Damascus steel. According to their information, that is JP VG10 steel with 67 layers. That is 62 plus Rockwell. That is a very hard piece of steel. Now, it does mention on here, no metal is completely stainless. Always clean them right away. With the knives you get from big box stores, they're going to be mostly stainless. That means they're going to be very rust resistant, but of course they are going to lose that edge very quickly. So with this, you're going to want to take a little bit more care in cleaning it so that you do not get any rust on it. It's going to be a much better knife as long as you do take care of it. And you can see they also dished out this blade. That is a fantastic edge on there, and you can even see that pattern as it enters into those pockets. Same style handle with the same accents. That is a beautiful blade. So we have the chef knife, we have the Santoku knife, and we have the utility knife. That is a legitimately beautiful piece of art. And a nice sharp point on there. Can easily go into a piece of paper. Naturally, I would be surprised if it didn't. Having a blade that's actually balanced on the handle is going to make it a lot more comfortable to actually hold on to if you're going to be doing a lot of work with it. Does it feel like it's cutting easier than the knives you usually cut with?
Yes. It has like a nice weight to it, but it's not heavy. Fits your hand well.
Mm-hmm. That fit my hand well too. I got bigger hands than you, so if it fits your hands, then it fits pretty much anybody's hands. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, they have like a really nice feel in the hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like surprisingly nice. Yeah, it feels like butter. Cool. Yeah, that is a treat. So yeah, these are some pretty awesome knives. I'm happy with that.